Welcome back, guys. I'm doing an appreciation episode today. I love being a part of this community, and any any community you're a part of, I think it's crucially important to show appreciation and pay your respects to those that are part of the existing community, those that came before you, and the originators of this weird but oddly intuitive phenomenon we call ASMR. Before we begin, I am recording this after the fact, by the way, so hope it segues nicely. As you guys know, I recently got myself a sponsor from Farmer Leaf, a company out of Yunnan, the Yunnan province, in the ancient city of Pu'er in China. So I just want to say a big thank you and a shout out to farmerleaf.com for sponsoring this video. It's actually a nice alternative. It's easier on my stomach than coffee is, and I think I might be a new convert to having tea in the morning, which sounds blasphemous for anybody who wakes up and looks forward to that cup of coffee. But honestly, the tea kind of has a stronger kick than some of the coffee I drink. So today's tea is Jingu Fengshan. So check them out if you are interested in tea. Enter code Let's Find Out, all one word, for a 10% discount. And by the way, speaking of showing appreciation for the community, the general outline of what I'm going to attempt to do today is show appreciation for 9 people who I reached out to months ago. I had intended originally to do this after I hit 20,000 subscribers. I was really bummed, and now it's over doubled, and so I absolutely have to give a shout out. I like I said, in a few words, I'm incredibly grateful to be a part of this community, and I'm proud to be a part of it as well. It's one of the most non-judgmental, open-minded communities I've ever had the privilege of being a part of. So I'm so thankful that ASMR is becoming an increasingly more popular phenomenon. So before I do show these 9 ASMR artists, these 9 creators, I just want to briefly say thank you for 2 books I received recently in my P.O. box. So, this is just so awesome that you guys, some of you out there, enjoy the content enough to want to hook it up. I got these through my Amazon wish list. And these are 2 books I think I will be making standalone episodes using. I know what one of them is, and I can guess what the second one is. Okay. All right. So this first one here, I randomly found an audiobook of this. It's by Neil McGregor. It's called A History of the World in 100 Objects. It was adapted into a BBC, I guess television show, but online. Maybe I'll try to find a link to it. I'm sure it's not legitimate. But in the last 6 months, I've probably fallen asleep to this book more times than maybe any other video I've ever clicked on. So let's see if I can find it. It's just exactly how it sounds. This guy breaks down 100 historical objects to understand the historical context in which these objects are embedded. So for example, Hokusai's The Great Wave. I'm sure all of you guys have seen this wave before. This picture to me is so beautiful. I actually drew it on one of my buddy's casts before without realizing the historical significance of it. So I've been watching a lot of, like a year ago, I discovered David Bull.
Images of a copy in the Smithsonian Museum and of a print currently available here in Tokyo. I'm going to focus on this area, just under the crest of the wave.
He carves woodblock, he's very immersed, very knowledgeable, very respectful of the traditional art of woodblock print making. So, next book. And yeah, if you guys haven't heard of David Bull, I'd highly recommend going to check him out. He's actually making really quality, unintentional ASMR content. So this next one, I actually wanted to wait to open this on camera. So, and I know this is from Nicholas Sorensen, so dude, thank you so much for this. So in here, you can see and there we go. So far, we've received a couple items from my Amazon wishlist. Never, I guess, with the gift wrap option. That was a pleasant surprise. I guess this is the invoice. Look at this. We got a nice little card, as well as it being wrapped. It says, a gift for you. If I open this up, so it says, I saw this, hi, enjoy your gift. I saw it on the wish list, and I thought I'd give it to you. So, it's from Nicholas Sorensen, man. Thank you. Let's open it up, see what's inside. Oh, it's like a nice little cinched satchel, almost. Brain tingles. This is a genuine delight to get. I am so looking forward to reading this. Maybe it'll help me get better at my craft. And I even like it has goosebumps. It has raised, embossed bumps on the title page, or the cover, I mean. That is so awesome, man. So I wanted to get this book because I actually emailed. It's by Dr. Craig Richard. Let me get his name right. PhD. Not only a PhD, but also a founder of ASMR University. And the subtitle is The Secret to Triggering ASMR Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response for Improved Sleep, Stress Relief, and Head-to-Toe Euphoria. Yeah, he has a podcast you can find on Spotify. I'm not sure if he has it on YouTube, but in the first episode, he's got at least 15 or so. He went over the evolution of, at least the modern evolution of ASMR, where he talked about how far back did he went really far back, but he included Bob Ross. He even has him on the cover there. So it's really cool. He talks about how Ashton Kutcher, Molly Shannon, and a bunch of other people. See, Gal Gadot, Kate Hudson, Sadie Sink, Dakota Fanning, Ella Fanning, Julia Garner, in like an original spot on the NPR show This Original Life back in 2013. So this was a pleasant gift. Really looking forward to diving into this one. So thanks again, Nicholas. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the 9 ASM artists that, if not the most, are definitely up there in influencing me, and who I have a great, serious appreciation for. Number 1, this girl, unfortunately, she, and I hope, just like the French Whisperer, just made a huge, yet characteristically humble comeback. Shout out, by the way, go ahead and watch him. Go give his channel a look. That's the French Whisperer. If you want to know who is probably the most similar in content to my channel. But this one was the number 1 hands down influencer in motivation, inspiration for me to start my channel. Her name is Shark Hunter 007. Interesting channel name. Not really sure where she got it. I would guess maybe she, I think she's some sort of PhD, or at least graduate student of biology, some sub-discipline of biology. So that's probably, maybe she's in marine biology, where she got her name. But this video in particular, I guess 2014 is when I saw it. And I was just researching videos, maybe I typed in relaxing astronomy or something like that, and she popped up, this video we're about to see. And to me it was the most relaxing thing I had ever seen. It was my gateway into ASMR. So let's check it out, and hopefully you guys think the same. It's not as polished as most videos you see nowadays, because it was made in, I think the upload date was 2013, but she's just a sweetheart, a kind soul with a passion for astronomy and many other sciences, and she immediately disarmed me and made me want to keep watching this particular episode about space many, many times. So let's check her out.
But basically it's the study of the universe, which encompasses all matter. And although it's just a theory, most astronomers agree that the origination of the universe was the Big Bang, and before sound and elements and any atoms even, there was just energy. And today I'd like to focus on the formation of our galaxy and solar system and take a close look at our planets and our sun, and that's pretty much it. I have some postcards and some articles, maps, and the solar system kit to put together. Intercollapsation and compression of hydrogen started to just pull most of the mass of this nebula into it, and to prevent itself from further collapsing on itself, the binary fusion caused such expansive energy that pushing
Alright,
outward.
did you notice right there where she was talking, and I think the conscious awareness that when she started getting hyper, she actually slowed her voice down and started talking in a very relaxed manner. And then it was at that point that I probably became addicted to ASMR.
It enabled it to not further fold in on itself, and it eventually kind of became a little bit stable and what is known as our sun now. So basically our sun is just turning hydrogen into helium and expending lots of energy, and it will eventually run out of hydrogen, but not for 5 billion years. So this binary fusion warms our planet, and that's pretty cool. So this is like to scale, and it shows you the 4 smaller planets down here: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and then look how big Saturn is. That's pretty intense. So this shows, and then you have Neptune and Uranus, and Jupiter is the other large one. And then you have the small terrestrial
The poster,
planets.
that really got me.
Just thinking about it.
And then she had these cards,
Enables
these little cards.
life and us to live on it. That's so cool. The atmosphere is the perfect size, not allowing things to escape, but not trapping in too much heat. And most importantly, this enables for water to exist, and water gives life.
Alright, so she, for me, that was huge. And, sadly, she stopped making videos, I think, and then she came back after a while, but, she discontinued making videos, even again, for a second time, and that was really the impetus for me to start my channel, is because there wasn't enough. There was really only the French Whisperer doing what I personally liked to watch. So I decided to start my channel, and it took 3 years to hit 1,000 subscribers, just for anyone out there watching who thinks it might happen overnight. And it will, or it could, happen much quicker if you pay attention, unlike me, to what it is you might be doing wrong, and be more open to criticism. Alright, so number 2, I know most, if not all of you, are already familiar with him, but, well, no, you're not, because if you were, he'd have more subscribers than I do, because in my mind, he's the best ASM artist out there. If not, he's the most underrated, without a doubt. Well, there's a lot I can say about him. One thing I will say is that he has a keen eye, keen ear, I guess, for details in what makes ASMR. His voice is itself very relaxing, but it's the inflections in the pace and tone with which he employs it to make you feel absolutely comfortable. So anyways, this next guy is ASM Rctica, and I think his videos really just speak for themselves. They're well done, they're creative, and most importantly, they are relaxing. So let's find out if you guys enjoy him as much as I do. Hi. Today I would like to go to this island, walking on the ice. It's an island that you can reach only during winter time, and only on the winters when the ice is strong enough. So I thought it would be fun to try now and see if I can draw a map of Europe today. Riga is the capital of Latvia. Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania. And Hungary. As the capital, Budapest. But I never understood the term political map when I was a kid, because I thought that politics was boring and the maps were just fun. And I didn't realize that maps could change and be redrawn in the future. Yeah, I hope you liked ASM Rctica. I mean, all these people deserve more subscribers than they have, but if I had to pick one, I'd say, man, you're definitely up there. And he, you know, not only is his channel great, but he actually is a genuine, from all my interactions with him, and there's been quite a few now. He's just a humble, very kind, sincere, friendly human being. So he actually, we're still not done with it. It's been about a year now. It's been an ongoing collaboration between him, Gaslamp, and Tingles with Flyby ASMR, all of which are on here. And he's the one who reached out initially to ask us three if we'd like to do a huge Atlas collab where we do a scavenger hunt of places around the world. And speaking of Gaslamp, he is next on our list. This guy is unique in that he reminds me of William Blake's phrase, to see infinity in a grain of sand. You'll see in the few examples I chose, he looks at a map and doesn't talk about what we all would see. He talks about things that we wouldn't maybe notice. He appreciates the details that you or I might not otherwise know to look for. And I think that's a part of what ties ASMR into mindfulness and meditation. It's the ability to be enamored by even the smallest, most trivial things. And he's so good at doing that, so let's check out Gaslamp ASMR.
Hello friends, welcome back. I have always been a big fan of maps, from way back when I was a kid. And last summer, when I was thinking of heading down the creative journey with this channel, a map video was on my short list of ideas to try to create here. One of my favorites, frankly, is a video from the ASMRnerd, an hour-long video talking all about the maps from the Elder Scrolls games. And that's just... go check that out sometime. It's quite a treat. But I wanted to take a little bit of a different approach and talk about the maps themselves. I find that fascinating. The remnants of the people who used to live in this area. So we can tell from the other aspects of this map, we're being told topographic information about the bottom of this lake. Topographic is a fancy word that means the information about the shape of the land. This map does a great job of highlighting things like this trail, the main Oxier Ridge Trail that starts from this trailhead, goes off of our screen temporarily, but it comes back. I told you that I bought this particular simple slide rule from eBay a couple of weeks ago, and there were many to choose from. Some smart mathematicians who discovered the concept of logarithms, which happened in the early 1600s, by the way. Could use that concept to draw a bunch of lines and numbers on a pair of sticks and slide those sticks around in a way that lets them do multiplication and division.
So, as you can see, Gaslamp is very oriented towards detail and finding fascination in, as he says, antiques and trinkets, and he's an engineer by trade, so that comes out in his style very much. He just recognizes and appreciates, and therefore makes you be able to appreciate the beauty in oftentimes mechanical objects. So pretty sure that's what he got his degree in, and it's just a perfect example of what, where we can find tranquility and appreciation in everyday objects. So next, in the same vein, I was introduced to Gaslamp and this artist Tingles with Flyby by ASM Rctica. So, Tingles with Flyby is an American living in Australia, and maybe that juxtaposition is also characteristic of her content as well. She does role plays. She does a lot of role plays actually, and her content is very reminiscent of just someone welcoming you, someone very hospitable, welcoming you into their life, their home, their immediate surroundings. And to me, that's extremely relaxing. She is admittedly an open book, and I love that about her, because she's so what's the word? Vulnerable. She makes herself very vulnerable on camera to essentially the world. So it's very charming, very disarming as well. And I feel personally very, I get a very warm vibe from Flyby. And so let's find out if you guys will get tingles with Flyby.
Hello, my tinglings, and welcome to another Map Monday. We'll be continuing our way through great maps, the world's masterpieces explored and explained. Plancius obtained maps from Portuguese pilots through various various means, employing them to create a series of maps using Mercator's projection. Nova Scotia is here. New France, you can see up here. Pennsylvania. Georgia. Of course, I want to see Maryland. Now let's move on to our rest of our items on the table. Some of these I know what wood they are, and some of them I do not. Now these are very well sought after here in Tingletown, because they just have an old-fashioned feel about them. Hi, welcome to Emirates Airlines. How can I help you? Just wanted to point out here that you do have your own plug-in. So you'll be able to charge all your devices, and there is also free internet on board. We will now have a brief safety demonstration to describe to you the safety features of this A380 aircraft. Next, let's look at our Vine wand. This comes from the Vitis vinifera. The particular plant that this one comes from was grown here in England, and it is from vines that have been growing for 120 years.
This next one, this guy Eddie ASMR, he's been a supporter of mine since early on, and there's a number of things I like about him and his channel. It's going to be hard not to sound like a broken record here, because many of these people obviously I choose because of they fulfill my interests. So they're all going to have a lot of similarities, I think. But he let's see, he does role plays. He does sort of a unique version of his own mukbangs. He's Canadian. I'm not born in Canada, but my mom was, and I've been up there a handful of times. And so, I like his personality that he brings to all of his videos. And maybe there's some sort of bias towards the overly friendly and embracing hospitality that I get from him that is so reminiscent of my own nostalgia for my family up in Canada. They're just always so warm, and it's always such a pleasure to go up there, and you feel like you're a part of the family. You feel embraced as soon as you step off the plane or whatever. Start talking to everybody up there is on average so friendly. It's almost ridiculous. So he's based out of Toronto, and I actually went up there for my cousin's wedding last year, and I was this close to meeting up with him, but we were only there for like 3 days, I think. So that was our fault. But me and Molly, we were too crunched to actually meet up with him. But he was so friendly, and he reached out, and I think when he recognized that I was posting some Toronto landscapes on Instagram. But anyways, he's just a kind soul, and I just want to support him and show him appreciation for all the support that he's given me over the past year. So let's check out Eddie's ASMR.
Hey there, welcome to McDonald's. My name is Pierre Nick. How may I help you today? Sweet beer. We have Fanta, we have iced tea, and we have Sprite, and we have C+ orange. Coke Zero. Okay, great. Is that everything today? No, you'd like a bit more. Okay. Would you like me to go over a couple of more items? Sure. Hey there, I believe you're here for an examination. I'm Dr. Nichki. It's Italian, Niceguy. So is it your first time with us? So I see that you've filled out this questionnaire, but there are a couple of additional questions that I have to ask you just to sort of get a framework of how your health is doing these days. Nice and simple. Hello everyone, I'm John McClane, and in today's film, many of you have requested that I partake in this most absurd act of ASMR. So recently, I found my technological device, otherwise known as my iPad, and I'm here at the Apple Store to try to repair my iPad. And I will be back in a little bit. Bye. Hi. Welcome to the Apple Store. I'm Tim Cook, CEO. Wait a second, I forgot. Just for you today, I demoted myself from CEO, and now I'm a greeter at this fabulous Apple Store institution. So, what can I help you with today? No, tomorrow I'll go back to being the CEO again. I did this just for you. Hey guys. these ASMR food videos because it makes me sort of chew slower and appreciate all the flavors of the food, which is something I don't do usually.
So, I hope you enjoyed that. He's just a cool, warm, honest person, and he makes you feel right at home. And I don't think I showed it in this one, but there's one video where he talks about, instead of opening ketchup packets like this, you open them like this, so that you can open them up like this and dip your fries right in there. Cool idea. So let's see, who do I got next? Next we have, I'm not sure I consciously grouped the Canadians together, but we have another Canadian. This guy is an OG in the ASMR community, another criminally acknowledged and subscribed to ASMRnerd, ASMR content creator. I don't think he originally started, and I don't think he still boxes himself in as an ASMRist, exclusively at least. He recognizes that it's a meaningful, useful, practical, helpful mode of communicating, but he's got lists. I'm looking here. I chose 3 or 4 of his videos. One's about comic books. He's such a passionate collector and so knowledgeable about comic books that alone to me is, I don't even really know anything about comics, but it's fun and entertaining to watch. So on top of that, he's just a very unique, approachable, kind soul, kind-hearted guy. And he's very, very helpful in the realm of mathematics. He has a whole series, trigonometry, comic book hauls, personal finance, cryptocurrencies, advice on just how to study, politics. Did I really just say that? Politics, economics, games, backgammon, beards. He's known for his beard. Good taste in music and in food. He has a whole corner of his channel that in which he makes just the most unique, very interesting dishes. And I think he makes his own liqueurs, I don't know how to say that, out of fermented fruits and things. And just an overall cool guy. I love showing him my support, and it's just a general honor for me to be a peer of this gentleman. So let's check out Chicho. They literally changed the face of the comic book industry. Jim Shooter is a comic book god. He created a company that within 2-3 short years became the 3rd top seller in the industry, that shook up the industry like no other. Chapter 1, page 11. No, it's just something here. There you go. Maxwell's discovery. So as soon as they mention Maxwell, there's Maxwell's discovery of the laws of electrodynamics. And Maxwell's equations are huge. And if you're interested in electromagnetic and magnetic methods, Tesla is where you want to be at, right? He takes these things apart. Maxwell's equations, there's I forget how many, there's 4 of them I believe, but there's actually 20 that
Again, I'm going by memory. I haven't touched magnetic, electromagnetic methods for a long time. Okay, so let's go back to the index and let's take a look at this. All right, so here's the index, and again, nice extensive index. Okay, perfect. And let's do the same thing. See this. This time we got more juice out of these. Looks like it anyway. Cool. That's good. Take a look. We get it like that and we just let it drip. Bring it with the spatula in. Right. Okay. That's good for now. I'll take care of the rest of this later when we get the rest of the buckets going. So let's put this guy here for now. Okay, and I do have these guys here. We'll put the spatula in there too. Okay, and we have this as well. So let's grab this as well, whatever was in the plate. Almost we got.
Alright, so next we have the ASMRnerd. Most of you, if you know about my stuff, I'm sure you'll know about his. He's, I believe Nick is a scientist. If not, he's a graduate student at least. So Nick, the ASMRnerd, he differs from my channel in a variety of ways, but we're a lot alike, except for the fact his audio and general setup is way better. I just love, again, he, I don't know if you're Canadian, Nick, but you sure come across as the, and I mean that in the best way possible. You come across as a, just a kind person, and very graceful, very, just very entertaining, very relaxing to watch, obviously. He, clips here I'm going to show you are his, I would say, 3 main categories. One would be his most famous video is the Elder Scrolls breakdown, just glossing over show and tell, if you will, I guess, maybe. And he's just fun to watch and listen to, and very disarming, very gentle, very kind, very warm, very warm. And again, I think what a lot of these good channels have in common is that they have a passion. They show and convey strong feelings towards whatever it is they're talking about. And I think that's obviously, other than the close-up triggers, it's a very characteristic feature of what makes effective effective ASMR videos. So, and we have a teabag show and tell, and he does a lot of keyboard and technology reviews, which those things just knock me out. So I think I slipped up and forgot to include one of his keyboard reviews, but those are phenomenal. You might want to check those out as well. And then just video Let's Plays. He does a lot of Skyrim. I think the one I showed was I forget what it's called, Forza, I think. It's a driving game. So, anyways, he's a good guy. Let's check out the ASMR Nerd.
The home of the Empire, the imperial race of humanoids, who really, throughout much of Tamriel's history, control the majority of the landmass, to a lesser or greater extent, depending on what era you're talking about. But that is a brief, very brief overview of the continent of Tamriel. Hillside looks like a sleepy little place. Not a whole lot going on here. I can hear voices in the pub over there. I am not very used to driving on the left-hand side of the road, as I explained in my previous video, and as you might be able to tell. But I'm doing the best I can.
Alright, so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the ASMR Nerd. This next one is a small request, stylized so that the letters ASMR are capitalized. Everything else is lowercase. Everything else is lowercase. I learned about this channel because I think when Houston, if you're watching, and a few other of my viewers suggested 2 years ago, I think, for me to check out this video game called The Universe Sandbox, and it's, I'm sure most of you know what it is. So once I did, I think I searched, see if there was examples of what it was, and a small request had done this a year or two before I'd even been suggested it. And he did it way better than I think I have yet even been able to. So, on top of that, obviously that was a gateway. I wanted to explore his channel more, and I found that he is an artist to the, in his own right. It's very encouraging, very inspiring to see what kind of ideas he's working with, and he tries to incorporate. I think he's a musician. I think he makes his own music. And I don't think his ASMR content is so active anymore, but the content he did put out, it's sad to see that it doesn't have more views, because it's just a beautiful, I'd like to use that word here, beautiful mix of music, philosophy, and just artistic representations of ways to deliver sound that are very unique to his channel. He makes it an experience. And yeah, so I'd like to just shout him out. He was, again, very extremely accommodating, very nice, very pleasant to talk to. Seems like a good guy. If you guys know who Fairy Char is, I'm not too familiar with her, but I know she's very popular as another ASM artist. I believe those two are an item, actually. So let's check out Manu from A Small Request. ASMR. No, just a small request.
Your mind is an ocean. Your hands are the waves. Sit back and relax. For this reason, nature, in the determinate existence, which makes it nature, is not to be deified, nor are the sun, moon, animals, plants, and so on, to be regarded and adduced as the works of God, more exempt than human actions and events. Nature in itself, in the idea, is divine, but in the specific mode by which it is nature, it is suspended. As it is, the being of nature does not correspond to its concept. Its existence in actuality therefore has no truth. Its abstract essence is the negative, as the ancient conceived of matter in general as the non-ends. But because, even in this element, nature is a representation of the idea, one may very well admire in its wisdom of God. The Milky Way galaxy is a spiral galaxy, and like most spiral galaxies, at its center lies a black hole millions of times more massive than our Sun. Since we are inside the disk of the galaxy and very far from the center, it's difficult to see what's going on from our vantage point. So how do we know there's a supermassive black hole at the center of Milky Way? In 1974, astronomers detected a very bright radio source in the constellation Sagittarius, which they called Sag-A*. One of the best pieces of evidence we have that this object is indeed a supermassive black hole comes from careful observations of stars that are in tight orbits around it. Only an incredibly massive object could maintain those kind of orbits, and only an incredibly dense object could allow stars to pass so near it.
So I'm curious to know what you guys thought of Manu. I think I should have shown it, but it's just so much of his stuff I really enjoyed. And he had one video where he's walking in an ice field, kind of like ASMRctica did. And he just, his expertise with the cinematography of it was very enrapturing. What's the word? Maybe that's the word. I don't know. Very, it puts you in a, it really consumes you. I like it. It envelops you in the moment. So, I hope you enjoyed it. And, these next two artists, if you didn't know the others, you are guaranteed to know them, but both of them, again, were kind enough to let me use some of their footage to display what I think is just irreplaceable uniqueness and creativity that you don't really see in too many other places in the ASMR community. They're very important for that reason. The first one is TirarADeguello. TirarADeguello, which I watched the John Wayne, was it Rio Lobo? Or, anyways, I think there is a song called TirarADeguello. That means dance of death. I might be wrong about that, but I'm not sure where he got his channel name from. But that doesn't really matter. He's so entertaining, so I'm gonna say lively in a relaxed way. Obviously, he's a ASMR content creator first and foremost, but he's so unashamedly original, and I love it. And he is not afraid to speak his mind. Just a very sincere, genuine, honest, kind soul. And I hope the clips I picked portray that accurately enough. And I just respect him, respect his work, and most importantly, again, I respect him as a human, another individual. So let's check out TirarADeguello.
Okay. All right. Well, get ready. We're going to send you to Oklahoma right away. All right? No waiting. Thank God. Things are getting so backed up here. You're getting sleepy. Very sleepy. Very sleepy. Very sleepy. I know I got lucky with that last one. He wanted to go to Oklahoma. I hope this trend keeps up. Shh, I got another one coming. Let's see what we got here. Hello, and welcome, my child. You are in the afterlife. That's right. You were born, you lived, and now you've died. Your mind perceives the afterlife the way you see it before you right now. And I have a wonderful story to tell you. You have the opportunity to be reincarnated. That's right. Reincarnation is a real thing. You've been to Earth many, many times. And it appears from your records that you've had an untimely death. And it's unfortunate that you went so young. But you have the opportunity to return.
If they had a lottery for that, I would have no problem with that. But at the same time, I know in my heart that those angry thoughts don't solve what's causing this pollution in people's minds. This hatred, this anger, this win at all costs belief system that there is no other way except our way. There was a time when in this country when people believed in each other and people voted for the better man. They didn't care what was before his name. They cared about the character of the man.
All right. So, as you can tell, he is morbidly humorous, and yeah, I just like his down-to-earth approach to ASMR. It's a very confession-y, very intimate chat with one of your coolest friends, I think, is really what his whole aura portrays. And this next guy is Phoenician Sailor. Again, another guy that doesn't have the acronym ASMR in his name. What to say about Phoenician? Phoenician is, well, I don't really know much about his personal life, but if I had to guess, I would say he's employed professionally in the field of cinematography. I don't know what the other word for that would be, but his sets are just that. I don't really call this a set. This is just my room. I did angle it, of course, because I'm proud of my little bookshelf there. But other than that, this is not a set. But with all of, I just got really self-conscious of the production value of this footage. But with all of Phoenician's videos, and especially, the ones I chose here, he's just bringing such a high level of production and acting and immersion into the roles that he plays. I'm not sure if I've seen him do a video about that isn't some form of a role play, but he doesn't really need to. He's just so deeply immersed in the characters he portrays. And I picked, of course, one of my favorites. I saw him years ago, and it's ridiculous that he doesn't have more subscribers. I know he's collabed with Ephemeral Rift and I'm gonna butcher her name, Karuna Satori or something. But anyways, I got Carl Sagan here, his Flatland episode, which I really hope he revisits playing Carl Sagan again, because he did such a good job at it. It was a real blast to watch, I think. And so we have Carl Sagan, and let's see, I know I did, he plays the Matthew McConaughey character from True Crime, I think it is, the HBO series. Phoenician Sailor is, to me, in a league all of its own, with very few others that have production values as high as his. Just another genuine guy, sweet, approachable, likable, graceful, kind-hearted person. So I just wanted to shout him out because I love what he does, and I'd like to see him get more support because he's criminally underrated. So let's take a peek into the creative mind and productions of Phoenician Sailor.
Good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. Tonight I wanted to pay tribute to the person and the show that first made me aware of the phenomenon of ASMR. I know for a lot of people that person was Bob Ross, and certainly Bob Ross's cadence of delivery, his message of positivity, and the actions he performed while on camera all made him sort of the perfect storm of what would later come to be known as ASMR. But for me, he was not the first. Obviously, he wasn't the first for any of us, because the prevailing wisdom now is that ASMR comes from our sort of our childhood memories of being comforted by our parents, and the cooing or whispering sounds that they would make in our ears, or the sound of blood rushing around us when we were in the womb, which is the same reason why parents will make a shh sound to calm their child, is that it's similar to the sound that they experienced when they were in utero. So to get back to our story, the square, who has an already limited perception of the world in which he exists, fears for his sanity. And the three-dimensional creature, although he has a slightly more comprehensive view of the world, is nevertheless not above being petty, and is unhappy about being considered a psychological aberration. And so he decides to descend and actually enter Flatland. And stamping that, and applying that within Flatland.
Rusting coal is back now. Where did his muscles go?
Well, it's a bit of a surprise. Being called back in here. Same room, same detectives. What do you got? You got some kind of Dracy sitting on you? You guys haven't been promoted yet? I could have a word. You two never did hear the whole Maggie story, did you? You didn't hear it then, you sure as hell ain't gonna hear it now. Not from me. Call Marty in here. Ask him. Lose sight of what's important. Oh, got me the hiccups there.
yeah, I hope you guys can appreciate what he is bringing to the table, you know? He really is up in the ante as far as how professional ASMR can possibly be. But that's it for the actual clips I have to show. Another one I want to shout out is Decaf-Math ASMR. I didn't set aside any clips, but she is bringing something unique to the table as well. She is a brilliant individual with a passion for math that shows, and to me that's what makes good ASMR, is creativity and a passion for what you do. And yeah, just go give her some support. And some other great people I'd highly recommend. I'll include them in the description again. Is Prim ASMR. She's making very artistic content. She has an ongoing series where she looks at vinyl records, and she takes a Gaslamp ASMR approach where she just picks 30 minutes on one single vinyl album, and it's a great way to immerse yourself and appreciate some of the small details of small objects that we often overlook. Busy Bee ASMR is another great one, really ridiculously underrated. She is just a warm personality, just very kind, very fun, very fun to engage with, especially in her live streams. She's a blast to watch. In the same vein as, well, what I do in Decaf-Math and is the MathWhisperer, who does really fun explorations into mathematical trivia and topics and unique examples of having fun in math, really. Then we have educasmr. Educasmr is an educational ASMR, which, with any luck, me and a few others on this list would hopefully are starting the sub-genre of ASMR is that. Who else? ASMRr. ASMR. Matt is, he's been around for a while too. So Matt, I just want to shout you out. You have just a warm, again, I sound like a broken record, but there's only so many ways, I guess, I can describe what I look for and what I like in ASMR. So, Matt, especially your taste in music, Ports of Canada, is a huge bonus in my book. And let's see, who else we got? Massage ASMR. I mean, the rest are gonna be big. Everybody knows him. Seb, Marno ASMR. He made a huge come up last year. He just came out of the gate running with quality content. He never underutilizes the power of memes. He's very personable. It's funny to watch. Then we got, Zeitgeist, ASMR Zeitgeist. That guy is, in the realm of pure sounds of ASMR, he's pretty much unparalleled. Like Phoenician Sailor, I'm pretty sure he has a background in some sort of music or cinematographer background. Design, set design maybe, something like that. He has such an eye for detail in the sounds and the visuals, as well as his little graphics that he puts on his mics. I can't forget Ephemeral Rift, a huge staple in the ASMR genre. That guy is just, ER is just unique, keeping it real, keeping it unique. I love his little philosophical rambles that he goes on. It's kind of what my vlog I made the other day was about. Not about, but trying to tap into. And, yeah, he just, he deserves a big shout out for keeping ASMR grounded and original, I guess, yeah. So, who else? fredsvoice, like that guy, you know, Thor Jr. And shout out to his side channel, Skyman Universe. He really does deep dives into Star Wars content, and I really enjoy that channel too. But yeah, fredsvoice, just another kind, just a sweet guy, just trying to help people relax. And then who can forget the top two, I would say the top two ASMR content creators in general overall is Gentle Whispering, Maria from Gentle Whispering. God, she is, I think she's the face of ASMR because of her sweet, warm, she just exudes warmth and comfort and a sincere, yeah, hospitality. You just feel like you're welcomed into her environment as soon as you know, she starts speaking. And then we have Gibi, killing the role plays. She's just, probably one of the more relatable ASM artists I've had the pleasure of watching. I think that's why she's so popular. She's so down to earth, so humble, so kind, warm, graceful. I mean, she's a fusion of all the best valuable assets, qualities. Yeah, she's just a fusion, a melding of all the best parts of ASMR, I think. So shout out to Gibi. She doesn't need it, but she definitely deserves it. Just remembered, speaking of immersive role plays, is escape reality, maybe bracket escape reality. That girl is, dude, you are amazing if you're watching this somehow. I love your cyberpunk, futuristic, you feel like you're in a nightclub with some muffled house trance music in the background and, you know, lights and beautiful, just the whole setup is so expertly crafted to make you feel like you're in a William Gibson novel or in The Matrix. So, escape reality, big shout out to her. Who can forget Jojo and Raffy Taffy? Raffy's one of the originals. Tapper, I think. He's so good at making expert tapping sound. I think his appeal, though, even though he's ridiculously good and accurate with his taps, he's like ridiculously fast. Yeah, he just again is emblematic of the warm, welcoming, hospitable, kind, graceful personality that you just naturally feel drawn to, you know, when you're watching his stuff. So thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you're able to find some new artists that you enjoy. I always love supporting people that I personally believe in and respect. And just want to one more time mention and thank Farm Relief for supporting the channel and sponsoring this video. They're sustainably, organically grown, hand-picked, locally cured but internationally distributed, and I think that's impressive, and I really respect that ethos of being transparent and keeping such ancient, valuable tradition alive. And that's the mindfulness, something we Americans lack a lot of. The mindfulness and attention to detail that is a part of the tea drinking traditions, rituals, ceremonies, I guess. So go check them out, farmer-leaf.com. Thanks for watching. As always, sleep well, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.